Need help determining your coaching style? Then stick around. Hey, I'm Dylan Joseph, soccer trainer and #1 best-selling Amazon author. To increase your team's skills, to overcome average performances, and to boost their soccer self-esteem, then make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification icon. And be sure to stay to the end of this video to learn what you should say to a parent that disagrees with one of your decisions. Today, we're covering how to select your coaching style. One of the most productive things that you can do as a coach, even before the season starts, is to determine what style of coaching you want to have with your team. Do you want to be fair and give everyone equal amounts of playing time? Do you want the main goal for your team to be to win? Is your main goal to build the character, confidence, and skills of all the soccer players on your team? Do you have a preferred formation or playing style, or will you base that decision on the players that you have on your team? Coaching styles are often broken down into 3 major categories. 1. Handling the relationships with players and parents. 2. Selecting the play style and formations of the team. 3. Advancing the technical skills of the players on the team. Different ways of acting towards the parents have their advantages and disadvantages. Make sure you've thought through the coaching style and expectations that you have for the players and parents on your team so that you can communicate it at tryouts or at the beginning of the season. Depending on the age of the players on your team, telling the parents exactly what type of coaching style that you have makes it a lot easier for them to determine and decide whether they want their child, their son or daughter, to be playing for your team. This may mean some players and parents don't relate to the objective that you set out at the beginning of the season for your team, so they actually look for other teams. At that moment, it may feel like some players and parents are rejecting you and your coaching style. In reality, you are setting expectations at the outset of the season so that when the going gets tough, everyone understands what the expectations are for everyone and the parents on the team. And could you give this video a like? It's much better to set the expectation of your coaching style at the beginning of the season so that the parents and players know exactly what to expect. Instead, if you don't do that, they're going to expect one thing and there's a pretty good chance that you're going to be delivering another that's going to make it so that some of the parents are going to be wanting to undermine you halfway or even more through the season. Setting your overarching coaching goals at the beginning of the season actually makes it very easy for you to make decisions throughout the season because as situations arise based on your goals, it's very easy to determine which decision you should often be making. For example, let's say you have the coaching style of always wanting to win, and you have a parent of a player on your team that's not getting very much playing time. You can point back to the beginning of the season where you clearly set expectations for your team of how winning would determine playing time and not equal playing time amongst every single player. If a parent does not like your playing style, then you can express that, yes, though it can be frustrating and may at times not seem as if it is working out perfectly for all parties, we did, however, agree upon the goals, values, and expectations at the beginning of the season. I am simply continuing to coach in this fashion as it would be unfair to the other players, parents, and myself as a coach to change what we set as our objectives and expectations halfway through the season. Excitingly, setting expectations at the beginning of the season will reduce the number of awkward conversations like this that you'll have to have. Another example of a potential objective that you can have for the players on your team is to build their character. Say, for example, there's a situation in the game where one of your players, the ref believes is fouled in the box and your team is awarded a penalty kick. They come up to you, they say, "I wasn't actually fouled, coach." Well, then it makes it a very easy decision for you to call the ref over and say, "He actually wasn't fouled, could you please give the other team the goal kick?" Setting expectations early tends to make decisions much more black and white and avoid those awkward situations throughout the season when you don't know what your objectives are for the team. So by setting those expectations at the beginning of the season, you let the players and parents know exactly where you stand. For more ideas on how to better coach your soccer team, consider grabbing soccer coaching using the link in the description below. So avoid missing that next weekly video on the top 10 non-technical topics that every coach should be teaching. And click here for a video on a fast footwork dribbling drill.